like to get involved from the very beginning. From a feasibility aspect, we'll take a look at part dimensions, the size of the part to make sure that it's something we can mold here in our equipment, and determine that it is feasible to mold here. And then at that stage, we determine if it's something we're able to move forward with for our customers. One of the main tools we utilize here at Kaysun in the upfront DfM phase is mold flow. So we'll actually take our customer's part design and look at it from all aspects of the molding phase. And we'll take a look at things like fill to make sure that there's no short areas that are going to want to short due to gas trapping or things of that nature. We'll look at cooling quality to make sure that there's no thick or thin sections that are going to cause the part to want to cool unevenly, which can lead to warp and other issues. We'll point out weld line locations. That's a huge aspect from a part design standpoint, as those can be weak points. We want to make sure that the customer is aware of those up front, and if we need to, we can address them on the front end. And also warp. Warp is a big problem we run into with plastic parts, again, when things are cooling unevenly or just for other reasons. From a fill analysis standpoint, we're looking for any areas of the part that may not want to fill. So there's a confidence of fill prediction that may show us areas of gas trapping or thin areas that might not want to fill in with material. We're able to identify those up front prior to tooling, which can save a lot of money and time. And we're able to correct those before we proceed into other DfM activities. So from a cooling analysis standpoint, we're able to take a look at how the part's going to fill and cool. And we're looking for any thickness variations that may want to cool differently. This can lead to warp and other part issues. So we want to make sure that we can strive for nominal wall thickness to try to get that part to cool as evenly as possible. Sink prediction is huge. A lot of the parts that we mold here have critical sealing surfaces and are also highly cosmetic. Areas of sink would end up as maybe a slight recess or a shiny spot on a molded part, which could cause leak failures or also just be a cosmetic concern on the outside of the part. And those are areas that we can pick up on mold flow and address either by thinning out wall sections or other means. But we want to make sure we capture those up front and are able to address those before we cut steel. Weld lines are super critical from a part standpoint. Anywhere that material has to flow around coring and converge back together, you're going to end up with a knit line. These can be potential weak points in part designs, so we need to be very cognizant of where those knit lines are going to occur. And we want to work with our customers to identify those locations and ensure they're comfortable with those. So if they're not, we could take steps to address those up front again prior to cutting steel and really incurring some of those costs from that. Warp analysis is very critical as well. A lot of the parts we mold at Kaysun are part of larger assemblies that need to assemble together. Sometimes they're outer perimeters that are style lines or things like that need to look cosmetically good. We can work with them to incorporate those items up front and allow it to be molded successfully here throughout its life in production.